you gonna go apple picking? Or you saw delicious apples in the store? Give this recipe for apple crumble a try. It's one of our new favorite recipes. You'll need, get this, 3 pounds of apples. The mix of apples is great. We like Empire, we like Pink Lady, we like anything that has like sweetness, but also a nice amount of tartness. And most importantly, apples that are fresh and crisp and from this year's crop. Not sitting around in the refrigerator or wherever they keep them. Fresh. Apples do have a season, you know. Apple season is in the fall. 375 oven, and make sure you have a 2-quart baking dish like this. I generally cut around the core and then cut it into 1/2-inch pieces approximately. It's not a huge, they don't have to be exact, but approximately 1/2-inch pieces. You can make this with slices, it kind of doesn't matter. You just want all the pieces to be about the same size so they cook in about the same amount of time. You can see that there's a mix of different apples, they're different colors, and that's totally fine. Actually adds to the complexity of the final dish, and it's nice to have different flavors in there. Okay, that's 4 cups. I have 4 cups in here, so just add the apples to that. 6 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Some lemon juice, about a tablespoon or so. Then stir with your very fancy spoon, or any spoon. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I'm at Sam's house. Hi, Sam. Thanks for hosting, shooting. So I'm using Sam's tools.
Is that fancy, really?
Well, it's not a cooking spoon. It's like a salad spoon.
Sorry.
Sam doesn't know the difference between a cooking spoon and a salad spoon, but that's okay. She's a camera person, DP, producer extraordinaire. She does not need to know about spoons, except now.
I should know. I really should
You
know.
actually should know.
It's embarrassing.
She should know after shooting my videos for what, like 6 years? 7 years? 7 years. Works just as well. Okay, that goes into your dish. This is that 2-quart baking dish I was talking about. Scrape it right in there. Have your oven, I told you this, right? 375. That's your filling. And over here in my mixer, I'm gonna make the topping. You can do this by hand. I find it easier to use my mixer, and it's just the same amount of tools, so that's what I do. I have a stick of softened butter already in the mixer, a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, and you wanna just cream that. Light and fluffy, but just remember that brown sugar does not get as fluffy as white sugar. So we might say light and fluffy, but we really mean just like lighter and creamy looking and smoother, but not necessarily fully fluffy. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Scrape this down just to make sure that all of the butter is in there. It's a smallish amount, and I just want to make sure that it's all fully combined before I add my flour, which is a cup. Give it one more quick beat, and then I'm gonna stop the mixer to add my flour because that could be disastrous. It's 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and then beat to combine. I like to stop it when it's still kind of crumbly and finish stirring it by hand because I don't want it to get too clumpy altogether, but I also do want some clumps. So I stop it and then I finish mixing it by hand so I can get exactly the texture that I like. Also, all of the flour didn't combine in there, and you want to make sure that happens. Something like this. And then crumble it over the top of the apples. Yummy, yummy. This goes into the 375-degree oven, and you bake it until it's fully bubbling in the center. That'll take 50 to 60 minutes. You may need to tent the top with foil if it happens to be getting too dark before it's fully bubbling in the center. Ta-da! Bubbly, delightful. Smells like fall, you guys. This is like the best smell. Butter, cinnamon, apples, Everything good about fall is right here in this dish. You should definitely give this recipe a try. If you like recipes like this and you want more, make sure to click like and subscribe because we have plenty more where this came from.